welcome to the Stress Less Summit. I'm Eleni. I believe developing the well-being skills of staff, students, and parents matter if we want our schools to be healthy, happy places where IB students can thrive. Today, I'm talking with Marina Kastrinaki. She's on a mission to share mindfulness and heartfulness tools with parents, schools, and children so that they may be equipped for life to consciously make the right choices, thrive under pressure, know their inner selves, and have a positive impact and outlook on the world. What is mindfulness and heartfulness? I mean, what are those concepts and how do they kind of connect or relate?
First of all, I think there's a lot of definitions out there. For me, the founder of all this, in a sense, is Jon Kabat-Zinn. I kind of like will steer people there as a starting point. I call myself mind, heart, breath. I find those are the three elements for me. The mindfulness is really the paying attention on purpose, as Jon Kabat-Zinn says, paying attention on purpose, non-judgmentally, in the present moment. And the heartfulness side of things is bringing compassion and gratitude and kindness to the things that you do towards yourself. The connector between all that is the breath. That's your anchor. That's what really helps ground you. How I approach the lessons that I teach to children, and I love to teach through game, children and adults together. I love to teach the two together, let's say in a room, where they can learn the practices and tools of mindfulness and heartfulness in a fun way. I think it sticks better that way. This is innately inside all of us from a young age. We kind of lose it, I think, along the way a bit. The child then, it kind of reinforces it for the adult. They can take this home with them. Or if it's just an adult that I'm teaching, again, okay, I'll do it. I won't just do games like I do with kids, but I will infuse it so that, again, they can, sort of take in the feeling of, well, this is something that I could do with my child at some point. If you feel ready, if you feel you've kind of embodied it somewhat, when the time is right. It took me quite some time to be like, okay, I feel like I want to do something here with my child. And when the moment arose, I didn't know how I was going to do it. How did it come up? It came up at night before going to bed. My child, my elder son, he couldn't sleep. He was nervous about something for the next day. And so we worked through a tool that I had ready to go because I had been doing it with myself. And it just came out naturally in that moment with him. Another time when he couldn't deal with his anger, he couldn't calm himself down. He was super upset. Again, that was another opportunity. These things arose kind of organically. There's nothing needs to be forced. And I think very importantly is that when we're practicing ourselves, because our children have these, what they call mirror neurons, right? And they're absorbing and they're watching us every little single move that we do. They're absorbing just naturally. So if you're starting to practice this and put this into your life, it's going to rub off on them without you having to do anything.
Yeah.
Organized. So
would you be happy to share an example? I'm so excited. The example of how to do that, because I want to try it myself as well.
Yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring a self-compassion exercise into today's talk. Compassion, it's not always clear what compassion might mean as opposed to empathy. But compassion is where you can actually keep some distance. You don't get drawn in totally to the emotion and sunken in there like, oh God, and you begin to feel the same emotions the other person does. Like, you can't be of any help. So compassion is, it's really like, yes, I totally understand and I feel what you're going through, but you're able to remain stable. This word equanimity is a great word, where, like, again, this sort of just, I'm neither on either end of the spectrum, I'm right there in the middle, and just by being there, I can be of support to you. So the self-compassion for me is super important, because before we can even begin to understand how to give that to others, we really need to practice with ourselves. And I think the best way to think about it is, how would you treat a friend? Is basically, treating yourself like you would treat a friend. And we're maybe not even aware of how often we don't treat ourselves as we do a friend, and the patterns of thought, the words that we use towards ourselves. So I'm going to take you into a visualization. You're going to pick your own visualization in a moment, and just not to pick something too difficult or too emotional. I just want that as a heads up, because you want to sort of start with something kind of quite simple. But so first I would bring like a hand to my heart. Just bring the intention to, you know, your awareness and to your personal, like your wholeness, let's say. I want to intentionally be kind to myself as I go through this exercise. And so you don't have to keep your hand on your heart. You can just relax. You can be sitting. You can be on a cushion on the ground, or in a chair. Just want to make sure that you're comfortable. Your back is straight but not tense. You can close your eyes. You can lower your gaze, whatever is best for you. And you're going to visualize a difficult situation. You're going to go back to a moment and sink into the story a little bit. So I'll just give you a moment to sort of think through something that was kind of slightly difficult. And sort of remembering the emotions that you felt. So you're looking to see what's coming up emotionally. See if you can name those emotions. Again, with gentle validation. Oh, I see anger there. I see fear. There's some embarrassment. Whatever those emotions that you feel you can remember that were really kind of part of that time. Now, see if you can find which of those emotions, if there are several, maybe there's just one, but if there's more than one, see if there's one that's stronger than the rest. Can you locate that? And give it, again, its name. Now that you've located it, see if you can find where you feel it in your body. So we're going to bring this into the physical realm. You find a point, or is it something general? It could be that you feel heat all over your body, or cold. Or there might be some point which is jagged or tight. It might be in your stomach area. It might be your chest. And this is where going to soften. So this whole exercise, I didn't really say at the beginning, is called soften, soothe, and allow. So we're going to start with softening. And how do we do that? Let's find that place that is in your body, feels tight, or pulsing, or stabbing. See if you can soothe it with a balm of compassion as you breathe. So you're going to breathe into that spot or in the overall area, and imagining that this area is softening up as you breathe into it. Another way I like to think of it is, think of the boundaries becoming more permeable. And repeat to yourself gently again, soften, soften, soften. And check in and see, do you feel that it's a little less tight, a little less sharp? And now bring some soothing words to yourself. I'm here for you. This will pass. I am not alone. Whatever works for you. You can also use touch. You can put hands on your heart. You might put it on your stomach. You might just hold your arms. Whatever feels comfortable. And just repeat again those words. Soothing. Soothing. I'm here for you. And then lastly, we'll pass on to allowing. You might find that it's still feeling strong as an emotion, or it might have lessened. Whatever it is that comes up, why did I do that? I feel so useless. Whatever is coming up for you, just notice it and allow yourself to be who you are, authentic. You don't need to be anything or anywhere, but here right now as you are. And again, lastly, allow. We can repeat the words if it feels right to you. Allow. Allow. These things happen. I'm still here. The world is still here. I'm human. I'm part of the human condition. Common humanity. And again, lastly, you can put your hand somewhere soothing and wish yourself, may I feel peace, may I feel healthy, may I feel happy, whatever it is you would like to wish to yourself. End with a nice big breath in and out. And you can slowly open your eyes. And welcome back.
Oh, lovely.
How did you find that?
It definitely helped soften a part that was kind of feeling like, oh, like there's this thing I wanted to do and this thing and this, and it's like, actually, it's okay, so yeah, what came to me was like, I'm doing enough, I'm doing what I can, and gratitude to you at the end for this activity, which helped me just kind of ground again. Yeah.
Thank you. That's great. That's really wonderful to hear. This thing that you said, those words, I mean, they really resound with me, and I think they do with most people, is this: I am enough. This is enough. It's okay. I've done what I could today,
Yeah.
Done the best I could.
So, Marina, is there anything else that you'd like to add before we wrap up?
Something that came up for me that I'd like to just say 2 words about is this thing of not being alone. I think so many of us feel very alone in the experience that we're going through. I am for certain one of those people that always feels like I have to do it all on my own. And I often do. I'll feel alone in my experience. And I have that, wish deep down, like, oh, I wish I could share this with someone or do it with someone. And so this is part of the huge part of the practice of self-compassion, which is realizing our common humanity. And I get shivers when I say that. I can't stress it enough that, once we do begin to realize that, whatever it is that we're going through, it's something that somebody else is at the same time, we could even say, going through. There's someone in the world going through the same thing as you right now, this moment. And just knowing that you're, that you are actually sharing a lot of what you go through as a human being with so many other human beings. And even if we have Facebook and all this social media that makes us look like we're all having a fabulous time and not going through any difficult moments, we do know that everybody goes through them, the ups and the downs and everything. So that's the one thing. And then coupled with that is, how important I feel it is to ask for help if you're struggling. Do get caught up in our own egos, or we've kind of learned these behaviors from our own families, that we've got to go it alone, we've got to just figure it out. But it's okay to reach out. It might be something small, like, oh, I need help with an essay, or it might be I'm really struggling with depression right now, or whatever. There's something going on, to find the right person and to reach out, because there's always going to be people out there who are going to understand exactly what you're going through.
Thank you, Marina. Thank you for taking the time to be here with us and to share your presence and this wonderful gift of softening and soothing self-judgment with compassion. I love that.
Thank you for what you're doing. It's so great to keep up this amazing work that you're doing.
It's my pleasure. I love doing this, and I love connecting with people like you, and I encourage people who are watching this at home to click on the link below as well if you'd like to learn more about how she could help you in your particular situation.